Hello, friends. In this section, we are going to deal with some of the corporate departments that are there in every bank, especially located at head office. You see, every bank will have a head office. Now, you see, on this context, I would like to share something like you see, present banking is where you have most of your branches available everywhere. But let's say, think of your the banking after a decade from now. What is the future of banking? Branch banking. You see, these branch banking will be converted into digital platforms. You see, e-banking lounge will be very common, where self-service technology is going to dominate. Hence, you see, from 10 years from now, the banking will have only two dimensions. One is a specialized role, which is in the form of these corporate departments that we are going to discuss now in this presentation. And second is like you have a generalist role, where you see you are acting as a call center executive or back-end team, where you see you will be getting queries related to various departments of your organization, and you have to take it, like you have to resolve it. So your role is, if it is a generalist role, you can work from home, you can be located at a central office. But when it is like a specialized role, you need not to be there in branch, you need not to be there in region. It will be concentrated only at HO level. Okay, maybe work from home will be very common in future. Let's go and see what are the various corporate departments that we have. For this presentation, I have taken the reference of South Indian Bank website, where they have mentioned all their corporate departments in their website itself. So let's go in for SIB datasets. Now you see, I put up this classification of various corporate departments that we have in South Indian Bank with the topmost executive of South Indian Bank, Mr. Murli Ramakrishnan. You see, he is a managing director and CEO. He is very dynamic. In last like couple of years after he has taken over his position, this particular ongoing position, he has brought in a drastic change. You see, being a ex-employee for South Indian Bank, I still remember the days when I was working for South Indian Bank in 2003 to 2008. It was a 5 year time span. Now that time and now current scenario is totally different. What they're doing is like they're bringing in lots of emphasis on business development, sales, lead generation, and bringing in CASA value up, bringing in low cost of your total deposit, and then trying to bring in good clients where they are able to give good loan exposure. They are able to take good loan exposure. So every branch is made up of two types of teams. One is like core banking team, as well as then second line of officers and executives are there who are bringing in sales. So now you see this has drastically changed, and now slowly steadily if you can very easily see how share price of South Indian Bank is going upwards. So like you see, this type of dynamic change is what is required. Okay, congratulating Mr. Murli for his like initiatives, and what he is doing is like is tremendous for South Indian Bank to flourish in future. I'm sure that he will be taking it forward to the next level. Actually, let's go into the various departments that they have in their corporate office. Now, you see, when it comes to corporate office, means you see these departments are not found in every branch. You see, their role is there in every branch functioning, but they don't. You will not find officers in intelligence and analytics team sitting in any branch doing some data analytics. So it is only a specialized team. You see, with the advent of fintech, financial technologies, and you see data analytics. Now this stream has grown like anything. You see, consumer experience is what matters a lot. New generation consumers are very dynamic. They are very, let's say they are very demanding in nature. So if you don't offer them what they want in first go, they have a tendency to switch very fast. Okay, so this business intelligence and analytic department is the key to success. If you have this department in place, and then they are working on the right set of data sets, they are generating right set of outputs for decision making, you see, you're able to flourish like anything. Like what is happening in last couple of years is a good example of it. Next is like you have CFM department. You see, you do have compliance department. So these departments, what they do is like whatever policies are there in place, they make sure that you all are following it up. Like you see, you do have legal compliance with RBI, you have legal compliance with various other state government and other agencies where you are operating. So you see, this department will make sure that whatever is supposed to be done, they are done as per the timelines. Next is like you have credit department. So looking into the core operations of a bank, deposit is what is very important, and then loaning is very important. So credit department sets the tempo. So credit department is the department who will plan for the overall policy. And once you have a policy, implementation is easy. So you see, creating a policy which is dynamic and is suiting to various changes in your environment is like, you see, you have to have a very effective team at the top. Now you see, I've understood the model which South Indian Bank is working on. Now earlier days, you see, when a loan case is sent to a branch, you see, branch was having certain approvals limit. So if it is exceeding the limit, it is sent to RO, regional office. If RO is not having that much amount of limit, yani the loan value is so huge, it is supposed to go to HO. Now you see, at every level, things have changed a lot. I'll just give you a small example of it. Now, if there is a loan application which is actually a corporate loan and is a good exposure, you see what will happen is like you branch will propose it to regional office. Regional office, after putting their objection, will be doing a group meeting where you see this case is actually put up like a presentation by the manager and team, support team. And then you see central office and head office representatives will be very critical in their evaluation process. They will be asking questions, so there is a friendly debate which is going on, which was not a part in earlier days. It was like simply loan was granted. All stakeholders, even though it is required, but they were not a part of decision making. But now this is very dynamic, where all of your representatives from various departments or the nominees can put up their objections. They can give their feedback, and you see the respective proposing branch has to incorporate those feedbacks, has to come up with some solutions and way outs. You see, this brings in more suitability to your credit process. Yani it brings in more viable projects into your evaluation process, and then you see it improves your credit. Now, next department is human resource department. The role is to recruit new staff, to train existing staff member, to promote on merit or to promote on seniority basis. Then you do have, you see, you have transfers, which is very common in banking. So with promotion, you have to get a transfer to, you see, transferring people here and there, and lots of time you will find banks are ensuring that their staff members are given due cover. Let's say someone would like to have a hometown transfer due to some medical emergency of their family members or due to some other reason. You see, this is what is always taken into consideration. So it is a very tough call for HR to train the manpower and then to map their requirements and then to deliver the same training inputs, and then finally managing their movement here and there, just to ensure, you see, like effective system is there in place. Then next department which is coming in is like inspection and vigilance department. The role of inspection and vigilance department is to have regular audits. Okay, branch audit is a usual phenomena. So every year, at least once, you will have your branch audited. So when audit will come in, they'll be coming in without notification. When they are going to come and report to your branch, you see your books will be checked. Your whatever is there in your custody, you're acting as a custodian, because gold loans means you will be having lots of gold, physical gold in your branch. You'll be having cash in your branch. You will be having other valuables and property documentation, any loan documentation. Everything will be evaluated one by one, and you see if they find any discrepancy, they'll be putting up notes. They'll be making clear cut observations in the form of an audit report which branch has to clear. You see, these audit reports are very important in terms of branch ranking. Okay, every branch is ranked on their performance parameter, on their quality parameter. So if you have a good rating, you see, this will help you to get good returns, like incentives based on your performance. So staff member in a branch where everything is like as per the required due diligence process, you see there is no flaws in it. You see their returns in terms of their annual increments may be standardized, but when it comes to incentives, like your performance driven incentive scheme can be very effectively put in place. Then you have integrated risk management department. You see, this takes care for various types of operational, market and credit risk factors. So they keep on updating their policy documents, their asset liability committee. You see, there is another committee called as asset liability committee, which takes care for your, like, you see, asset and liability management, which is the most toughest call. So this department is not only supposed to do it internally, but they have to map the requirements global according to global standards. So you see, if they find some crisis somewhere outside the country, they'll prepare certain working notes and will be training their own staff members so that similar sort of situation may not be arising in our bank. Okay, similarly, you do have a legal team. Now, this legal team helps most of your branches in terms of, let's say, there is a legal dispute between a borrower and bank, or some other cases which have been like court cases where clients have filed certain cases against the bank. So, in such cases, you see, legal team is very important because legal advisors, if they give you right advice, you'll be able to sort out things very early, and then you need not to pay heavy compensation because of your carelessness. So this legal team will help you in every step, starting from loan appraisal, where you have a separate team who is taking care for various documentations like nil encumbrance certificate. Okay, so from those documentation to any court representation, like bank has to go to a court for some summons. So these legal team will be helping it, or it can be in Sarfasi Act implementation when it comes to immovable security and related recoveries. Now, next is like you see again, you have so many branches coming up. Some of them they are on lease, some of them they are the permanent property of your bank. You see, premises and maintenance department is again very important. So when you open up a new branch, there has to be a survey, there has to be investigation, proper investigation in terms of like whether it suits or not, feasibility is there or not. So this premises and maintenance department will make sure that what infrastructure is there in place is as per the need, as per the requirement. Okay, let's say computers, if they are not updated, will be a problem. Let's say you do have vault in your building, in your premises, but now you need more space, you need more space for lockers because your locker operation is going up, customers are demanding for more. So you see, this is the role of premises and maintenance team. Then you have secretarial team who's issuing circulars in line to like whatever new modifications are coming in into system. So they'll be issuing it for every department. Then you see, we are mainly going into digital platforms. So you do have digital banking department separately taking care for those transactions. You do have international banking division. You see, foreign exchange transactions again. Earlier there was a forex department, but now you see that has been merged into international banking division, where you see foreign exchange buying and selling of foreign currencies, holding them into your portfolio is actually a job of it. So NRI business, how you are supposed to deal with it, what type of interest rates should be set in line to global rates. So everything has to be taken into account when it is international banking division. Next is IT operation team, which helps you to have you see, they are your standby team. You're working on a software. Let's say South Indian Bank is working on Finacle software. So you see Finacle updations whenever they are coming in. This team is the most active team. Second is like, let's say you have a well-connected network of ATMs, some of your self-service terminals, and let's say your CCTV cameras in your branch and in your off-site ATM locations. Who is taking care for it? Who is looking at all of these from a distance? You see, if ATM is getting exhausted with cash, IT team will be sending certain alarms. They do have some triggers. So where respective branch will be informed immediately, and then you see they take care. If a system is down in a particular area, just imagine your branch is opening up and you're a manager, and then customers are queuing up. You must have seen the previous one video where it was totally messed up. Now just imagine if network is not working, what are you going to do in branch? Even though customer do have money in their account, they would not be in a position to withdraw. It's a serious problem. Okay, so IT is your backbone. Without IT you cannot sustain. Retail banking, again specific department to take care for individual cases. Then staff training, again it is actually working in line to your HR department. So staff training college is there, where it is only people who are new inductees, or let's say induction is going on. So you'll find this in Trishur. I've been to Trishur once. So you get excellent treatment, you get your lodging, you get your training. You see, it depends on the type of course that you are going to do. Then there are some other renowned institutions like NIBSCOM, which is there in Gurgaon. Then you have like you see Agriculture College, College of Agriculture, which is under RBI's preview in Pune. You see, then you have NIBM Pune, National Institute of Bank Management. So these are very well-renowned institutions for training for bankers. You see, you may have your internal. This is internal training facility for South Indian Bank. So similarly, you do have transaction banking department and treasury team. You see, treasury department is very important. Why? Because you see any sort of investment decision, anything to do with SLR, CRR maintenance. So if these requirements are not met, fine will come in. So they'll take care for this, and in alliance with risk management team, they are going to take care for the risk management part also. Okay, so looking into all these factors, now this is what you actually find only in HO head office, not in branches. So you will not find IT support. Maybe you do have a group of people, not all, posted in your branch. So hope you like this video. Take care, good day, see you later, bye.